Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making this really cute shell top. I haven't found a name for her yet, but you'll know the name because it'll be on the title, so I'll figure that out later. But yeah, we're gonna make this top. It's super easy and super quick. I made this top in about 2.5 hours, and it's super duper cute and super duper summer, and you guys have been asking for a tutorial, so I'm gonna deliver. So yeah, without any further, let's get right into the video. Enjoy. Love you. Starting off with materials, you will need your yarn, some scissors, and a hook. I don't know exactly how much yarn you need, but you will need quite a bit, so just make sure that whatever yarn you have a lot of it, because depending on your size you'll use more or less yarn. So I'm just hoping that this is going to be enough yarn. I don't remember how many yards. I'll put it on the screen, but this is what I'm going to use, and I'm just going to hope it's enough for my size. And I'm using my 4.25mm hook. To start off, you're just going to make your slip knot, and then you're going to go ahead and chain the length of your bust. So for me, that's 25 chains. And then from there, you're going to chain 2 more. And on the 3rd chain from the hook, you're going to work a double crochet. And then you're going to work double crochets all the way down your chain. So I finished my row of double crochets, and now I'm going to chain 2, turn my work, and you're just going to keep working double crochets until you reach the length that you want your top to wrap around your back. So I do around 3 to 4 rows, so then it can reach midway through my back, and then when I tie it together it stretches a little bit more. It'll make sense whenever we're done. So I'm just going to keep working rows of double crochets until I get my desired length. Okay, so we just finished the part of the top that wraps around to the back of your body, and my only suggestion for this is to make it a little bit smaller than you think, because once we insert our row of gaps and then our chains for our straps, it'll stretch a little bit. So I did 4 rows, and from here we're going to start working our decreases. So to do this, go ahead and chain 2, turn your work, and then we're going to work a decrease. So to work a decrease, you're going to work a double crochet like normal, but you're only going to pull through the first 2 loops, wrap around, do another double crochet in the next stitch, but only pull through 2 loops, and then from there pull through all 3 loops. And you're only going to work a double crochet on this part of the top. So for the rest of the top, we're just going to work regular double crochets, no decreases. So I just made it to the bottom of the row, and I just worked double crochets all the way down besides where we started, and then I'm going to go ahead and chain 2, turn my work, and then we're going to work just 1 double crochet into each stitch until we get to the top where we'll work another decrease. So just like normal, I'll just work a regular double crochet in all these stitches going up. And I made it all the way back up, but I have 2 stitches left, and that's where I'm going to work my decreases. So in the second to last stitch, I'm going to go ahead and work a decrease where I only pull through 2, and then the same thing on the next stitch, pull through 2, and then pull through all 3. Just like that. So I'm going to chain 2, turn my work, and we're still on the decrease part, so I'm going to work a decrease. So go through, pull up a loop, pull through 2, wrap around, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through all 3. And then I'm just going to work 1 double crochet into each stitch all the way down. So I made it back down, and I didn't work any decreases because this is just a straight row and this is the decrease row. So essentially how it will be forming, if you're doing it correctly, it'll form like this, where this row just keeps going straight and this row just keeps decreasing, and that's what's going to make your top give you that sweetheart effect. So I'll explain it one more time and then I'll leave you guys to it. We are working on this part of the top, well, this part. How we do that is we're going to, since we left off here at the bottom where we just kept a straight row, I'm going to work all the way up and then decrease, and then whenever I decrease, I'll chain 2, decrease, go all the way down, chain 2, go all the way up, decrease, chain 2, decrease, go all the way down. So you're going to work decreases here. Every time you're over here, you're going to work a decrease, and over here you're just doing regular straight double crochets, and you're going to keep working this until you get to the middle of your top. And you can do more or less decreases depending on how small you want the middle, or how much of a decrease or decline that you want your top to have. But I just do decreases every row just because I like the way that looks. So yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys to it. Again, you're gonna go up, work a decrease, go down, go up, work a decrease, go down. So I'm going to keep doing that, and I'll come back when I am done. So here's what mine looks like after I've done all my rows. And now we're literally going to repeat this, but instead of working decreases, we're going to start working increases to recreate this shape on this side. So to do this, I'm starting at the slant side. So once you hit the slant side, I'm already at the slant side, so I don't have to do anything. But if you are at the bottom, then just work up and then go ahead and work your increase. But since I'm starting at the slant side, I'm going to go ahead and chain 2. And instead of working a decrease on the slant side, I'm going to go ahead and work an increase. And to work an increase, you just work 2 double crochets in 1 stitch. And then I'm just going to work 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way down. Then once I make it to the bottom, I'm going to chain 2. And since I'm on the straight side, I'm just going to work 1 double crochet into that stitch. And I'm going to work 1 double crochet all the way up until I reach the last stitch on the slant side. And I'm coming up on my last stitch. On my last stitch, I'm just going to work 2 double crochets into that 1 stitch. And then we're just going to repeat that over and over until we have the same amount of stitches we started with. So I'm going to keep going until I have 25 double crochets. And again, you're just going to work an increase, go down, come back up, work an increase, go down, come back up, work an increase, go down, until you have the same amount that you have on the other side. Okay, so I finished all of my increases and now I have the same amount of stitches. So now for the next 4 rows, I'm going to work just 1 double crochet in each stitch, because on this side we worked 5 and we already worked 1 where we have just 25. So I'm just going to work 4 more rows of double crochets. So however many rows you did at the beginning, at the very beginning where you didn't do any decreases, that's how many rows minus 1 row that you're going to do over here. So I did 5, so now I'm going to do 4, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to do 4 rows of just plain double crochets, no decreases, no increases, just plain old 4 rows of double crochets. So once you finish everything, this is how it should look, and this is the front of your top. You can always add more rows on the sides if you want it to wrap around a little bit more, but I think mine is perfect. So now we're going to work the sides of our top where the holes are. So for this, there's no specific way to do it. I just kind of guesstimate where I want my holes to be. So to do this, you're just going to chain 1, turn your work, and I work a single crochet in the first stitch. And I'm going to go ahead and make my first hole. So I'm going to chain 3, skip 3, single crochet into the 4th stitch. And then I'm just going to work a few single crochets and then make another one, a few single crochets and then make another one. So I'm going to work about 6 single crochets. And then I'm going to go ahead and chain 3, skip 3, single crochet into the 4th, and just do the same thing, work 6 single crochets. Chain 3, single crochet into the 4th, and I'm left with 2 stitches, so I'm going to single crochet into those like that. And these are the holes that your straps are going to go into. You can do more or less. I just always go for 3. And from here you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and you're going to work single crochets all the way through here. So I'm just going to work a single crochet in all of these previous single crochets. And then in the gap, since I chained 3, I'm going to work 3 single crochets. And then work my regular single crochets and work 3 single crochets into the gap until I make it all the way down. So here's what it looks like. I'm just going to go ahead and chain 1 and cut my work, and I'm going to leave a long tail so that I can sew it in. I forgot to say in the materials you'll also need a darning needle to sew your loose ends. That's my fault, I meant to tell you guys that. But I'm going to go ahead and rework this whole thing we did over here onto this row, and this was a little bit more tricky because we're working into chains, but it's kind of easy to tell each stitch because the chains, instead of seeing V's, you'll just see like lines. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. And yeah, so I'm just gonna do that like I did this one, working into the chains to make my holes. And I will be back when I complete that. So now that we've finished our little holes for the straps, we're gonna make the actual straps. And to do this, you can just hold the top against you and just feel out where you want your straps to be. And you can go ahead and mark those stitches. So once you figure out where you want your straps to be, you can go ahead and attach your yarn with a double knot. I always do a triple knot just to be safe. And then you're gonna go ahead and pull up a loop and chain. I'm gonna chain 150. And then you're gonna do the same thing to the other side. The way I find where I wanna put my strap on the other side is I fold the top in half, and then I just do it right across from where I put the first strap. And I'm gonna go ahead and chain my 150. So now that we finished the top of our top, we're gonna go ahead and start working the bottom. And I'm gonna start working from where we ended off our holes. If you wanna start a little bit closer to the middle, you can do that, but this is just gonna be how much of your top wraps around your tummy area. So if you want it to wrap around a lot, which I like it to wrap around the whole entire front, I go ahead and start from where I placed my holes at the beginning. So you're gonna go ahead and just attach your yarn, and I'm just gonna go ahead and attach with a triple knot. And this part is a little bit tricky because you want to crochet single crochets all the way across, but you want to keep it in multiples of 7. I normally do, for my size, I do 70 single crochets, but sometimes I do 77, so I just keep it around the 70 to 77 range, but just make sure whatever amount you do is a multiple of 7. So like 7, 14, 28, 70, 77, 84, things like that. So starting at the beginning, I'm going to go ahead and pull up a loop and chain 1. And then I'm just going to work my single crochets all the way across and just let it come natural. Don't force too many into one stitch, but don't skip a bunch of stitches. Just try to make it look as natural as you can. There's no specific rhyme or rule to how you do this. Just crochet single crochets all the way across until you have a multiple of 7, sorry. So once you do your single crochets across your top, I did 70. You're gonna go ahead and chain 4. And then in the first double crochet, you're gonna do a double crochet. And this counts as a double crochet chain 1. So it should look like this. It should have a little loop. Then you're going to chain 4. Skip the next 6 chains. And in the 7th, work a double crochet. So it should look something like this. And then from here, go ahead and chain 3. And work a double crochet into that same stitch again. And we're going to repeat this all the way down, so chain 4. Skip 6 stitches, double crochet in the 7th. Chain 3. Double crochet into that same stitch. And I'll do it with you guys one more time, and then I'll leave you to it. So chain 4. Skip 6 stitches, double crochet into the 7th. Chain 3, double crochet into that same stitch, and repeat that all the way across. So once you reach the end, you're going to go ahead and chain your 4, work a double crochet into the last single crochet of the last round, the previous round, chain 1, and then double crochet into that stitch again, mimicking how we started. And that should bring you to the end of your row. Here's what you should be looking like. Now we're going to start working our shell stitches. So to start off, we're going to chain 3, turn your work, and you're going to work 3 double crochets into this stitch, the first little gap. You're going to work 3 double crochets. So it should look like you have 4 double crochets, and then from there you're going to single crochet into the next big gap, And then in our next chain 3 space, we're gonna work 7 double crochets. And you're just gonna keep repeating that. So single crochet in the chain 4 space, and then work 7 double crochets in the chain 3 space. And you're just gonna work this all the way across your top. So once you're done, it should look a little something like this. And from here, we're gonna, in our last chain 1 space, we're gonna work 4 double crochets. Chain 4, turn your work, and then you're gonna work a double crochet into that first stitch, like so. And then from here, chain 4, and you're gonna work a double crochet into the 4th double crochet from the next fan. So here's 1, 2, 3, and in the 4th, I'm gonna work a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet into that same stitch. And we're just gonna repeat that all the way down. So chain 4, double crochet into the 4th stitch of the fan, chain 3, double crochet into that same stitch, chain 4, and repeat this all the way across. And you're just redoing the rows we did on the first row. Then once you make it to the end, you go ahead and chain your 4, and then in the last chain 3 from the previous round, we're gonna work our double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. And now we're just gonna keep repeating these 2 rows over and over and over. I do 6 rows of the fans, so I'll show you guys one more time how to do the fans, and then you guys can refer to this row and then the row I'm about to show you to do the whole top. So for the fans, you're gonna go ahead and chain 3, turn your work, and work 3 double crochets into this chain 1 gap. Single crochet into the chain 4 gap, and then work 7 double crochets into the chain 3 gap. Single crochet into the chain 4 gap, and then 7 in the chain 3 gap, and so on and so forth. For our row with the V's, you're going to chain 4, work a double crochet into that first stitch, chain 4, work a double crochet into the 4th stitch of the fan, chain 3, double crochet into that same stitch, chain 4, and repeat that all the way down. And yeah, you guys can refer to the last 2 rows I taught you guys how to do to work the rest of your top. You can do whatever length you want. Again, I do 6 rows of the fans, so I will be back whenever I'm done with mine. Okay guys, sorry about the angle change and the vacuum in the background, but I finished my rows. Normally I do 6, but I ran out of yarn, so I just did 5, and now we're gonna sew in our loose ends. So to sew in my loose ends, I just put my hook, my darning needle through my loose end, and then I just tuck it into random stitches in the back of the top. I mean, I'm sure you know how to tuck in your loose ends. I don't really know how to show you guys. I shouldn't have got rid of the camera setup so fast, but yeah, as you can see, I'm just tucking them into random places like that, and then I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to do that on all my loose ends, and then we can go ahead and try it on. Okay guys, so you made it to the end of the video. Congratulations on your new top. Let me know if you guys have any questions, concerns, sizing issues, anything like that, and I will try my best to answer them. And if you guys see any questions that are unanswered and you know the answer, answer them for me, like help me out a little bit. So yeah, I really hope. Oh, and this is how I tied it. I just did like little crisscross in the holes. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in today's video, and I will see you guys next Sunday with probably a vlog. We'll see. But yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a blessed life. Love you. Bye.